Okay, so we've developed our equation, and what I've done is I took the points that we got to develop our equation, and now the second part of the question said to graph this equation. And there's a couple ways to do this, okay? Now, we always graph our first values on the x-axis or on the horizontal axis. So that's going to be our n, our number of layers, okay? It's also called the independent variable. The first variable is called the independent. Because which makes more sense? That the height of the wall depends on the number of bricks the number of layers of bricks you have, or the number of layers of bricks you have depends on the height of the wall. Okay? So our first value is what we're going to change, and then we'll find out what happens. So the height of the wall depends, so it's called the dependent variable. On how many layers of bricks there are, and we always graph the dependent variable on the vertical axis. Okay, so we can just graph a few points, and it is only necessary to graph points, 2 points to form a line. Usually you want to graph 3 though, because you want to make sure that if it doesn't turn out to be a straight line, one of your points is wrong. So you want to make sure you have your calculations correct. So, and in this book, so we're going to go ahead and go with it. Scaling, how you scale on the independent axis can be different than how you scale on the dependent axis. So I'm going to scale this by ones. Okay, and then I'm going to scale the other, I don't know, say by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay. Now, when I had 0 layers of bricks, the height of the wall was 10 inches. So that's 0, 10. That's that point. When I had 1 layer of bricks, okay, it was 18 inches tall. Okay, and there's no way to fit all the coordinates on here. At 2, it was 26. At 3, it was 34. At 4, it was 42. Okay, so you can see that, and it's going to keep going. And this isn't exactly a straight line because, as I have said, and will continue to say, I can't draw. Yeah, and we always want to put the equation of the line. But if I could draw this accurately, and I could do this on a graphing calculator, and I'll probably show you how to do that in class, you would see that this is a straight line. It's going to continue rising at the same rate. That's what makes it a linear equation. Now, a second way to draw this line, if you would like to do it this way, is first determine what is the slope of the line. Okay? And the slope, just put a note here, is the rate of change. Well, what are these numbers changing by each time? Well, that's changing by 8, and 18 to 26 also changes by 8, and so forth. That's where we have our linear equation. And that change is our slope. And it happens to be the number that's right in front of the variable. Okay. Now, where do we start out? When we have no layers of bricks and just the foundation sitting down there, how high am I off the ground? Well, I'm 10. That's my starting point. Okay? the point 0, 10. This is called the y-intercept. Okay? Now, a slope of 8 means we go up 8 and then over 1. So I first start at my 10, and now this one's kind of hard to tell, what this is actually going up by. But about 8 would be here, and then just connect your lines. Okay? And if you remember, somewhere from algebra, and you don't have to remember all this stuff, what you need to be able to do is make sense of the equations. This had a special name for this form, y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form, because you can look straight at the equation and tell what the slope and the intercept are. It's also important that when you label your axis, you tell what you're looking at. So this is also, and I did not do this, this is the height in inches. Now the third part of the question asked us, what's the height of the wall, not in inches, but in feet? There is a couple ways to do this. Okay, and I am going to give this as a question to you. And what I would like for you to do is type in the equation you find and email it to me. This is an assignment, and it's worth 5 bonus points. Then I would like for you to finish reading as your assignment for Wednesday. .1, and I'm going to assign in this section all the problems. They start with the applications, 8 through 36, starting on page 290 in the front part of your book. Now, the equation you find, if you don't know how to write it out in symbols, tell me in words what you think you need to do to find the height in feet. Okay? So if you're not really good at writing equations, but you can tell me in your own words what you would do, we can figure out how to write the equation. That's not too hard to do. Just takes a little practice. Okay? Well, I will see you on Wednesday, hopefully, unless we get snow more than we have now. And I hope everything finds you well, and please be careful and drive safely if you drive at all. I wouldn't. Talk to you later. Bye.